Yeah.
but you know it just doesn't work late game. Like I mean, you always have gateway units, but just like anything else, you need support.
Hmm.
And yeah, you're right. I would say starports are probably my favorite avenue to go down.
Yeah, getting a bunch of Void Rays out with those gateway units like Force Field and Void Rays. Oh man, so much damage.
Hmm. And that Banshee's coming in, but with only 4 kills, it's being it's being followed by a lonely observer.
Yeah. I haven't seen any pro level player get the observer speed upgrade yet, and I really like to see that, especially against Terran.
I really forgot that it existed for the longest time. I
Yeah,
mean,
or Prism speed is the other one nobody ever
mhm.
gets.
And most people get the robotics bay for that thermal lance and nothing else.
Yeah, and to produce Colossi, obviously.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know sometimes I get the thermal lance and don't intend to build Colossus, but that's just me.
Yeah, a little bit of unorthodox play where you get Thermal Lance and then you go massive, sentries. Just to fool your opponent with mass hallucinations, which have Thermal Lance.
I wish you could. Can you hallucinate Sentry?
I don't think so. I think that's one of the very few units you can't hallucinate. Like
I think that's
carriers.
illegal.
You can't hallucinate DTs. You can't hallucinate observers. That would be awesome. Hallucinated DTs.
That just seems silly. I think they'd be confused because their abilities don't work. He'd be visible.
Mhm. Well, I mean, it could be like, fuck, what's it called? Immortal, where the hardened shield is the only ability that actually carries over to. Actually, I think Colossi. If you have the thermal lance upgrade, the Colossi will actually shoot further. The hallucinated ones.
I think they automatically have thermal lance.
I'm not sure about that. We'll actually have to test that
We
out.
will
But
have to test it out. I don't think the hardened shield actually activates on the immortals. I think it just pretends to.
Yeah.
I think you get a graphic for it, but it doesn't actually reduce damage.
That's something I'll have to look into too. But very nice aggression.
So,
From,
yeah, we got Marines
Sjow
coming in,
here.
2 Hawks base, but those force fields are actually working against him because the probes can't counter the Marines like they were trying to. That cannon goes down, and the Zealots are just going to get executed. But here comes the Stalkers. They should be able to clean that up. But yeah, those I would say those were bad force fields by Huck.
Well, this Banshee's back, and it's got 9 kills.
Oh, but it's going to go down.
No! Oh, Banshee!
Oh, it does make me sad. I'm Protoss, and it makes me sad.
Each one of Show's units, each one of Show's air units is a hero.
Each one of Show's units makes me like Terran a little bit more. But
And Huck's actually got some probes in his base that are just sort of sitting there doing nothing.
it's too bad we can't see the idle probe menu for each player.
Yeah, we'd probably tear him up too much. Like, it's really easy to make mistakes like this. I know a lot of people are like, huge blunder by Liquid Huck leaving these probes here, but really in a stressful situation, like, you sort of have to take that into account. And there he goes. Now they're going back to work.
Well, you gotta
And
give him credit, man. Like, yeah, Hawk usually is pretty good in dealing with stressful situations.
yeah.
But
And,
I
like,
mean,
he did lose nearly as much as he could have there. Like, he's still fully saturated at both his expansions. So, very well deflected, I think. The only problem I'd have here is that Sjow is up in expansion, and it's a planetary fortress. And do you attack planetary fortress with just stalkers?
no. However, it doesn't look like he's gonna lose any stalkers.
No, he wanted to get that turret down,
So
which was
then-
a smart choice. So he
Oh,
could,
look,
like,
a drop in his base, but he's got charge slots there to deflect that.
and an immortal.
You see how much damage just the charge ability did without actually even making contact. Almost killing that Marine entirely.
Yep. So Zealots do, what, 16 damage with that? Like, because it's 2 swipes, right? At 8 damage, 16. Yeah. So, like, once that makes contact, it's instant 16 damage.
Which is very nice. Especially against a Marine that's only got, like, what, 30 health?
55.
That was
With
close.
the upgrade. 30 health Marines would die so easily. 1 fungal growth would kill them. That would be brutal.
How much do they have without the shield?
45.
45. So the shield is...
Interesting little statistic here. If a Marine without Marine Shield will die in 1 shot to a snipe, but with the Marine Shield takes 2.
Oh, that is a interesting fact.
So just something to keep in mind. Huck's spotting this army movement here with this observer.
Hawk's
And I'm
observer
really
play is
surprised.
so good.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Sjow hasn't scanned it yet, like he was in the last game, just being really active about scanning.
I'm not sure he even cares. But it's always a good idea. I think there he goes. There he goes. Sniping that observer. And a nice split by Liquid Hawk. I like that. Because he knows.
Oh, there he's going to attack. He is charged, doesn't he?
And did you see what he did with that Immortal? He ran the Immortal in first and took so much of that siege tank fire.
Yeah.
But EMPs didn't go off. Did he? How did he stop that EMP?
I don't think the Ghost had enough for an EMP.
Oh, maybe. I was waiting.
He only has one Ghost. I don't even know where it is.
Yeah, he's building 2 more. There are now DTs out for Huck, and there's no detection for Sjow.
Yeah, really good choice.
One scan. Yeah, he bunched them up, which was a poor decision for Liquid Hawk, and that one scan killed so many of them. And now Liquid Hawk's in a lot of trouble.
I really would have liked to see Huck not engage there and instead pull up to, like, say his expansion, because, like, engaging that with, like, you have this sense as a Protoss, like, when you can break the Terran ball, and he hadn't reached that point where he had enough to break
from
it.
Huck.
Yeah, and then just Sjow just kept pushing and.
Yeah, he also kind of led him to that base. I think it would have been wiser to kind of string him up through his third. And at least he could have prolonged the fight, and delayed the time it took for Sjow to start picking off his production.
Yeah, exactly.
I think with DTs he could have picked apart this army slowly, if he buffered it back to his production.
Yeah, absolutely. And if he'd taken up position on the high ground here, he could have came in around behind if Sjow had tried to push up to his natural and got the flank on him.
And charge lots are good for that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially since the only problem then is Sjow can start stimming and running between Liquid Hawk's buildings. And actually, I've seen Terran do this a lot. If you try to engage them, they'll trickle their units in between the cracks and holes in your buildings and use that to their advantage.
Yeah, because their units are smaller, especially infantry. The tanks would probably get picked off.
They would lose their tanks for sure, but then the Zealots would have a really hard time defeating the Bio Ball. And I think Huck really could have used some High Templar here.
Yeah.
He had the tech for it. I mean, he could have...
He's also got a lot of gas, too. He's he has almost 1,400 gas that he could have spent. And that would have been, 6 High Templar with Storm really would have turned this battle around, especially because he didn't have as many Ghosts. Like, he only has 1, I think, in this ball, and then I don't even know where the other 3 are, or the other 2. They're sitting back at his base. They aren't even rallied in.
That being said, I think if he got High Templar, it would have encouraged Sjow to get more Ghosts, and that probably would have meant less siege tanks or less more gas-heavy building or units. And I really think Liquid Hawk has the APM to make Templar work against Ghosts. And I said APM, but I meant micro.
Yeah. But even then, just that timing window, like, again, I want to get back to that idea of reaching the game like at an equilibrium where both players have 3 base, especially Terran versus Protoss, opens you up into a like really unique late games, because as the tech tree opens up, you have options, more and more options, and it becomes who can outthink who rather than who has more stuff than who.
Yeah, definitely. So that is game 3 between Liquid Hawk and Sjow, and the best foreigner in the tournament loses to a non-foreigner. Sjow is actually Swedish and is the homeboy of the DreamHack tournament. So I think the fans will be glad that Sjow has won this matchup, and Canada is a little bit removed from the tournament now.
Yeah, I'm torn because I'm Terran. I love Terran. That's definitely my best race. But I love Huck. So,
Definitely.
Terran or Huck? Terran or Huck?
Yeah, well, it looks like Terran. So, yeah, definitely. So this is the last game in the quarterfinals. The last matchup, I should say. And so far we're seeing Sjow move forward. We're seeing Idra taking the games from TLO. So it'll be Sjow, Idra, OGSMC, and who was the last one? Whitera over Jinro. So it should be a pretty fantastic finals. Semi-finals, I should say. So, guys, stay tuned because we will be casting the semifinals, and I hope you watch them here. Thank you very much, guys. I'm SSN Incarnum, this is SmashCap, and you're watching StarCraft Inc.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.